A judge orders a school district to let an anti-mask school board candidate go maskless at events. Even though school board races are so partisan these days, so should you see D's and R's next to candidates' names so you know where they stand. A real solution to doctor burnout during the pandemic.
We're faced with this uncertainty of things that doctors don't normally have to deal with, like the idea of rationing life-saving devices like ventilators.
And trying to hang on to something good that came out of the last year and a half.
This bike park has brought so many people together. It's helped us immensely during COVID.
That's great, but it's not on their land. The search for a compromise, next. A school board candidate and statewide anti-mask activist has just won the right to go maskless at the district's candidate event tonight. A judge granted an injunction to Shumay Navarro in her lawsuit against Cherry Creek Schools. Navarro's recently risen to prominence in Colorado's Republican Party, leading the fight against mask mandates. Her lawsuit cited her disability as the reason that she could not wear a mask. The district pointed to a social media post by Navarro saying that she was willing to wear a mask to exercise in preparation for the coming civil war. A judge ruled a short time ago that a single unvaccinated, unmasked candidate at an event is not enough of a threat to the public to keep Navarro off the stage of candidates. The Republican frontrunner for governor says she has never had formal ties with the election rigging conspiracy theory group recently run by the state GOP chairwoman. Heidi Ganahl's campaign today declined to say whether she still has faith and confidence in party chair Christy Burton Brown after it was revealed that Burton Brown led the extremist group FEC United, which has a militia wing. The Republican Party chairwoman's involvement with FEC United came out recently in sworn testimony as part of a lawsuit. FEC United, which is affiliated with the United American Defense Force militia, claims that Democratic Governor Jared Polis got into office through election rigging. FEC United has made the same false election rigging claim about President Trump's defeat. Ganahl, in launching her bid for governor, would not say whether she believes that the 2016 presidential election was rigged. No matter where you live in our state, there is something that you will not see on your election ballot this November. Certain letters that you might expect to be there. They're left out on purpose. It's what happens when races are declared to be nonpartisan. Politics guy Marshall Zellinger explains.
Certain political races on your November ballot are rudderless. Not in the formal sense of the word, meaning lacking purpose or leadership, but literally without rud. There is no R, no U, and no D next to the names of candidates for school board and city council races.
Should they stay nonpartisan, where we don't see D and R on the ballot?
Let me answer a question with a question. Why shouldn't they? It's never come up.
Kevin Baumer is the executive director of the Colorado Municipal League, which advocates for and trains city leaders who are elected in races that are nonpartisan.
Most of them are running because they care about their community and they don't identify how to fix a pothole as whether it's a Republican issue or a Democrat issue, whether or not the park needs new swing sets. Is that partisan?
My name is Brian Lindstrom, and I'm your Democrat for Ward 2.
At this Aurora City Council debate that I co-moderated with the Aurora Sentinel and Telemundo Denver, one of the candidates introduced himself by party affiliation, even though it does not appear on the ballot.
We can call it nonpartisan all we want, but people have belief systems. People know where they tend to vote. I don't think there's any argument to hide information from the voters.
Some of these issues that are facing us currently are crossing party lines. But, yeah, some people want to know.
The question of whether party affiliation should be on the ballot became part of the debate.
I knocked on one gentleman's door, and his first thing he asked me, he's like, "You running for city council?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "What's your political party?" I said, "Well, it's an unaffiliated position." He goes, "What's your political party?" And I said, "It's an unaffiliated position." He goes, "What's your stand on gun control?" And all I had to do was give him one answer, and he had the answer.
It actually gets the voter to find out more about the candidate and what they believe in without trying to figure it out with whether or not it has an R or D behind their name.
I reached out to the Colorado Republican and Democratic parties on this question. The Democratic Party doesn't have a position on if city council and school board races should include party affiliation, and the Republican Party told me it damages the public trust in local governments and institutions.
I mean, at this point, though, it's so obvious. I mean, you've got state parties saying, hey, come out and volunteer for the slate of candidates that we support and that kind of thing. And the politics are so steeped into so many of these positions now, especially the school district. districts.
You look at the school board races, and I'll pick out Douglas County because every time there's a school board race, it seems Douglas County is in it. But you've got something called Kids First versus Community Matters. And it's a slate of candidates. Vote for our slate. You'll see the cars driving around with numerous names. Vote for this group of people.
Yeah.
It's obvious they have a political slant that they all agree on. You just don't talk about it out loud.
Also the reason why, and people ask us fairly about this as well, the reason why when we refer to the governor, we mentioned he's a Democrat in elected office, whereas the mayor of Denver, clearly Democrat, unaffiliated position. All right. Thank you, Marshall. Getting some feedback about our attempts to simplify some of the political lingo that you see in Denver's 2021 Blue Book, the Election Explainer. Viewer texted us late last night after our story. It had a really reasonable question. Question is, why are we paying lawyers to write ballot questions in Latin and legalese and not just write in plain English? As a fair point, anonymous texter. So we talked to the Denver city attorney, and they said that there are certain legal issues they can't handle in-house. They tell us that all the ballot questions that ask for an increase of debt or an increase in taxes need to be written in that specific way so that they conform with Colorado's Taxpayer Bill of Rights and our state's election laws. Written that way in case they get challenged in court. Adams 14 Schools has its accreditation back from the state after being stripped of it by the Board of Education earlier this week. We told you that was the first time that had happened in Colorado history. The State Department of Ed determined that the quality of education in the district was so bad that in 2018 they forced the district to have a private company come in to run the schools. That's how they served the more than 6,000 students in Commerce City. Over the summer, the district locked the contractor out of the process, and as a result of that dispute, the State Department of Ed pulled Adams 14's accreditation. The district was offered a chance to reach a new agreement with this management company, MGT. If they didn't, they risked being forced to merge with another district. The school district could have been dissolved completely. They did reach an agreement with the contractor today, and they'll begin work together again. The doctors fighting the pandemic can sometimes seem invincible. They've been at it for a year and a half. Yet we've heard them say everybody's got a breaking point. And now more doctors are reaching out for help. There's a peer support program connecting them with someone who knows precisely what they're going through. Here's Mark Salinger.
Exactly, this phone right here.
It's not a fancy call center.
Nobody's seen anything like this.
Yet Dr. Scott Humphrey's cell phone holds the power to help.
Everybody has their limits, and what a lot of docs have gone through over this past year and a half has been insurmountable.
Insurmountable. After a year and a half of fighting a deadly virus face to face every day, doctors need help. Humphreys is on the other end of the call, ready to talk.
A lot of times the doc will say, you know what, I've just had it and I don't know what I'm supposed to do now. You know, how do I go on?
Humphreys is a psychiatrist and medical director at the Colorado Physician Health Program, a nonprofit that promotes the health of doctors and physicians' assistants. The organization started a free hotline for any Colorado doctor treating COVID-19 patients needing another doctor to talk to. They're getting more calls now than any time over the past year.
Over the past few months, we've seen a significant uptick, and that's because we thought we had the light at the end of the tunnel, but instead we're dealing with these variants, the ICUs are filling back up, and everybody's already exhausted.
A team of doctors from the Physician Health Program share the duties of picking up the calls. They're hearing from doctors concerned about treating patients, their families, and even getting sick themselves.
Psychologically, we were ill prepared for this. We didn't know that we would have to be choosing, who gets life-saving treatment and who we have to leave to be sick and potentially die.
Now Humphreys wants every doctor to know there's help, even for those used to helping others.
One of the biggest challenges Dr. Humphrey says he hears about from doctors is having to wear all those masks and goggles and everything else that creates a barrier between them and the people that they're treating. Takes away some of that humanity of talking to someone face to face and letting them actually be able to see the doctor that they're talking to. And Kyle, they say that impacts them a lot.
And for anybody who's curious, that number's there on the screen. So obviously, Mark, physicians have access to all the same mental health supports that are accessible to the general public. It's that peer aspect that's so important here.
Yeah, this is a peer support program, and it connects doctors with other doctors who know the challenges that they're facing. And from there, they can connect them with other help if they need it.
All right. Mark Salinger, thank you for that. It's pretty clear that our hospitals are busy places right now for a number of reasons. One of them is COVID. 909 people are currently being treated for COVID-19 in Colorado's hospitals. It's down 13 patients from the day before. Yesterday was our peak COVID patient total since the beginning of the year. Tonight's next question came from two viewers, Moss and John. Both got emails from what looks like the state health department, a reminder to get their flu shot and a request to send in their personal information if they already had the shot. Moss and John smartly thought this might be a scam. So here's what that email looks like. I'm going to be honest, I glanced at it and I'm like, not sure. It says if you got the flu vaccine, please email the date along with your first, middle, and last name, your birthday, and your phone number. Reach out to the state health department. The email is legit. They told us they send out similar reminders to people who are overdue for their second dose of the COVID vaccine. The state did mention if you don't want to email in the info, but you'd like it to be up to date, you're welcome to call the vaccine hotline, 877-268-2926. You speak to a live person there. They'll update their vaccine information for you. This is the vaccine line that also deals with all the COVID stuff, so let the operator know that you're calling because of the flu shot email. Keep those questions coming, too. Email them in video or audio form, if you would, to next@9news.com, and we'll work to find an answer together.
Everyone here doesn't want the bike park to be taken down.
Except the land doesn't belong to them. A pandemic year project meets real-world reality. Perhaps there's a way for everyone to get what they want. As Colorado's bear encounters increase, all the local newscasts interview people about the problem. Only Next talks with the bears.
Oh, hey.
Nice of Meow Wolf to do that for us. 27 years ago today, passengers stepped onto an RTD light rail train for the very first time. And what a long, strange, and occasionally delayed trip it's been. The Central Corridor was the very first light rail line, known today as the D line, runs from 30th and Downing and 5 Points through downtown to I-25 and Broadway. RTD tells us that first light rail line replaced 430 bus trips when it opened. It was the only route in town from 1994 until 1999. And it carried a bit more than 16,000 passengers each weekday for those first 5 years. Then in 2000, RTD added its second line, the Southwest Corridor, which went from that I-25 and Broadway stop to Mineral Avenue in Littleton. Now RTD's all grown up. 12 light rail lines, 74 stations spanning 113 miles of rail, and they plan to build a train to Longmont by the year 2050. I understand we have given RTD a bit of grief here over the years, but today is simply for celebration. Oh, gotta turn the page. So, happy anniversary, RTD.
After a gorgeous October day here in Denver, tonight the clouds starting to push in across downtown Denver. We hit 77. Out at DIA, some lower 80s across the eastern plains with upper 60s in Kremling, Eagle, and up to Steamboat Springs. Tonight you can kind of see that cloud shield pushing in across the western slope. A few very isolated showers out there. We should stay dry, however, here in Denver. 40s and 50s tonight with the clouds. That should kind of act as a blanket, but this next storm system, it'll inch closer into Colorado by tomorrow, bringing the western slope. So good chance for some scattered showers. We'll fire up the futurecast tomorrow morning. Still pretty quiet here in the city. Few isolated showers going, and then they become a bit more widespread by about 4 or 5 o'clock tomorrow, with a chance for a little bit of light snowfall late tomorrow evening along those higher peaks. Temps on deck in the upper 70s for the metro area, 75 for the start of the weekend, but then look what happens next week. A little rain and possibly some snow mixing in.
The time is now to get outside and do what we want to do, and so we can make memories now and then we can have those later in life.
The kids created a way to enjoy the outdoors after a year of being cooped up. They're respectfully fighting to keep it. The kids are all right. Next.
Oh, hey. While you're here, can I tell you what really bothers me about you people? I shouldn't say you people, except I do mean you. People. You're always ripping off Yogi Bear's line about being smarter than the average bear. Let's talk about the intelligence of the average human. We bears broke into 18 cabins in Clear Creek County. We don't even have opposable thumbs. Pretty smart if you ask me. But you people can't even remember to lock up your trash. You people keep putting up low-hanging bird feeders, or as we call them, bear feeders. Bear feeders. All this would be delicious fun, except when you people do dumb, we end up dead. So please, this fall in Colorado, Be smarter than the average human. This announcement brought to you by Meet Your Bears, encouraging awareness, responsibility, and safe surroundings.
Some kids in Littleton amused themselves during the pandemic year by building their own little bike park near Chatfield Reservoir. One problem: it's on land that's owned by South Suburban Parks and Rec. After being told that their play place could get wiped away, those first-time bike park architects turned into first-time activists.
All right, ready? Let's go, guys. This bike park has brought so many people together. It's helped us immensely during COVID.
This has been like the main highlight of all of our kids' summer.
For me to have like an outlet like outside and like a bike park to like go to and like get energy out, that has been like, I guess, like a really big blessing for me.
We just want it to stay and we love it so much.
We hope to keep it intact so people can keep riding it.
I think everyone here doesn't want the bike park to be taken down.
Last night, they said they're gonna take it down, and that would impact so many people, so we decided to take matters into our own hands and try to stop it.
We have nothing on the schedule to tear down this park at this time. We do have some concerns about the park. Just the location of it has expanded, and some of the jumps are now ending onto current trails, some other logistics of people maybe just using the park, and so we want to make sure that everybody using the park is safe.
But like everything you do has a risk to it.
If they funded a bike park and got professionals down here, that would eliminate, safety issues because it would be professionally built.
Our next steps are just to meet with the neighborhood, meet with the community, talk about what they want. We can express our concerns, and hopefully we can meet somewhere in the middle.
The time is now to like get outside and do what we want to do, and so we can make memories now, and then we could have those later in life.
Keep kids outside and keep the bike park alive.
Save the bike park. Save the bike park.
All right, guys, let's do a few more laps.
That kid's sign worked better than mine a moment ago. We appreciate those young people, parents, and South Suburban for sharing their perspective through the lens of our photojournalist, Corky Scholl. The most Colorado thing we saw today, and speaking of the sign, an apology for throwing way more shade at RTD than I intended. Next. The most Colorado thing we saw today is a glimpse of Cinderella after midnight, getting her carriage towed back home after it turned into a pumpkin. At least I believe that is what next viewer Kelly spotted on Bellevue in the tech center recently. I'm not great with the folktales, so I'm unclear whether Cinderella's carriage turned pumpkin then reverts back into a carriage like at 9 a.m. the next day, or whether she is stuck with that ungodly gourd and has to like make pies or something. I don't know. Spooky season things that say Colorado to you can be emailed to next@9news.com or give us a shout with the hashtag HeyNext on Twitter. In feedback, Linda Limecooler writes in to say, I loved the bear ad, the public service announcement, and the opportunity to look up the organization. It's a relatively new group, Linda. Meet Your Bears, encouraging awareness, responsibility, and safe surroundings. But from the looks of it, it's a really well-rounded organization. Also, Jonathan Wolfer tweeted, The Shade by Kyle on RTD. That was an error. See, what we were trying to do was honestly celebrate RTD's light rail anniversary. Yes, the train is delayed to 2050. But happy anniversary is what I wrote. The pages stuck together, so it looked like I was being a jerk. See you next time. Happy anniversary, RTD.